of triangle number 1. After measuring our map to find the lengths of the sides in inches, we used our proportion 100 over 0.5 to find the length in miles. The top number would be in miles and the bottom number would be in inches, which is the value we had already found. So by subbing in x, we would cross multiply and get 106 equals 0.5x, and we divide by 0.5 on both sides to isolate x. Now, dividing by 0.5 is basically the same as multiplying by 2, and that leaves you with x equaling 212 miles. Now it's time to solve for y. Using the same proportion, 100 over 0.5, we sub in our inches in order to find y. Cross multiplication. Dividing by 0.5 to isolate y. Cancels. And that leaves you with y equals 226 miles. Now that you've found both your base and height variables, it's time to use the area formula to find the rest of the area of the triangle. So A in a triangle equals 1/2 BH. So we are going to use the formula A equals 1/2 226 times 212. After all the multiplication, you end up with the area equaling to 23,956 square miles. And you're done. Now on to our second shape. Using again our trusty formula, 100 over 0.5, we sub in 2.38 inches and try to find x. Now cross multiply and then divide by 0.5, which is done all in one step, and you are left with 476 miles. We repeat this again with the other side. This time we sub in 0.88. Now he's cross multiplying and now he's dividing by 0.5. This will equal x to 176 miles. Now to find the area of a rectangle, it's just base times height. So that's 176 times 476 to equal our area. And once all that math is done, the area equals 83,776 square miles. Once again, using our trusty proportion to convert inches into our miles, we use 100 over 0.5. Next step is to cross multiply. Once we've cross multiplied, we end up with 175 equals 0.5x. Now, dividing by 0.5 to isolate x leaves us with x equals 350 miles. Time to do it for our second variable. Again, we cross multiply. 38 equals 0.5y, and then we divide both sides by 0.5 to isolate y. After that, we get 76 miles equals y. Now to find the area of the whole triangle. The area formula is 1/2 base times height, and our base is 350, and our height is 76. So after we've multiplied everything, we get the area equals 13,300 miles square. On to shape number 4. Using, again, our conversion formula, we sub in 1.1 for the inches and try to find x from there. From there, Xander cross multiplies. After that, he isolates x by dividing by 0.5 on each side. Once all the math is done, x equals 362 miles. He repeats the process again to convert 1.31 inches into miles. From there, he cross multiplies. And then he divides both sides by 0.5 to isolate x. That leaves him with 262 miles. Since the area of a rectangle is just base times height, we use the numbers we found, 362 and 262, and multiply them together. Once all that math is done, you get 94,844 square miles. Again, after measuring our sides in inches, we have to use the trusty conversion formula that we've made up to convert it into miles. Now we cross multiply, and that's fairly easy because it's just 100 equals 0.5x. Now we divide by 0.5 on each side to isolate x, and again, basically the same as multiplying by 2. So we get 200 equals x. Using our trusty conversion formula, we again do the same process for our friend y. We cross multiply. Then we divide by 0.5 to isolate y. And that will give us 126 miles equals y. Finding the area of our triangle in miles is fairly simple. It's just 1/2 BH, and in this case it's 1/2 times 200 times 126. Now, once all the multiplication has been done, the area turns out to be 12,600 miles squared. Time to move on to finding the area of our 6th polygon. Converting the sides into miles, we do the same formula, 100 over 0.5, and sub in 1 to find x. Once he's cross-multiplied, he divides both sides by 0.5, and x turns out to be 200 miles. He repeats these steps again, instead subbing in 1.31 inches to find x. Then he cross multiplies. So 0.5x equals 131, and he divides both sides by 0.5 to isolate x. This lands us with x equals 262 miles. Now on to finding the area of this whole triangle. Area equals 1/2 base times height, and our base is 262, and our height is 200. So 0.5 times 262 times 200 equals 26,200 square miles, which is our area. And finally, our last polygon, number 7. Using our ratio of 100 over 0.5, we subbed in 1.75 inches to find x. Then we cross multiplied. After cross multiplication, we divided by 0.5 on each side to isolate x. And x turned out to be 350 miles. Repeating the same process again with the same ratio, but instead subbing in 0.31 inches, we cross multiplied again. After cross multiplication, we divided by 0.5 on each side to isolate x. X equals 62 miles. Next, we found the area. Area of a triangle is 1/2 BH, so we did 1/2 times 350 times 62. This triangle's area came out to be 10,850 square miles. Finally, it was time to see how close we were to the actual area of Texas. We did this by adding up all of the areas of the shapes we did, and then dividing it by the actual area to get a percentage, which is our percentage of accuracy. Area of shape 1 was 23,956 square miles. The area of second shape was 63,776 square miles. The area of the third shape was 13,300 square miles. The area of the fourth shape was 94,844 square miles. The area of the fifth shape was 12,600 square miles. Area of the sixth shape was 26,200 square miles. And finally, the area of the seventh shape was 10,850 square miles. After adding up all the areas of the shapes, we got 265,526 square miles as the estimate of the total area of Texas. Now it was time to find our percentage of accuracy. By dividing 265,526 over the actual area of Texas, which is 268,597, we got approximately a 98.861% accuracy. Thanks for watching!